I, in fact, part of it I heard from Mohan long back because I know Mohan knows quite a bit of it. I remember.
We can brief you and Matthew can do it. So
Yeah,
Gopal,
that's right.
Yeah.
Move on.
there is a TV program here called your How to Steal a Million, How to Be a Millionaire or whatever. Kaun Banega Crorepati.
Pati.
So Amitabh
Yeah.
Bachchan says your 15 minutes starts now.
Yeah, I don't think I'll take that long, So, yeah, I think I'll just share with you, how things have shaped in my life. All the events that shaped my life to the point where I am now, and it's not a single event. It's kind of a series of events in my case, but nothing, like what Matthew had experienced and changed. So relatively minor stuff, I think.
Gopal, you have to make it a little bit louder.
Oh, okay. So I think I have to come a little bit closer.
Yeah, that'd be
Others,
better.
please
Better?
mute.
Is
All
this
others,
better?
please mute.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good suggestion.
Yeah. So it's I think one of the main first event is when my father passed away when I was 16. And up to the point, I was very, easygoing. I didn't really take my studies very seriously. I was into cricket and badminton and all that, very average student. And then after my father passed away, and it's only, I had a large family, I have one brother and four sisters, and then only one sister was married and everything. And we came from, my father was as an officer in railways, middle class, and we were not very wealthy or anything like that. So anyway, so and after that, I took my studies seriously. This was, I think, when I was in SSLC or the 12th grade, I guess. And then I got into REC. I went to pre-university with with Kasi. Kasi and I met when I was in St. Joseph's. My father passed away when I was in St. Joseph's, I think final year in high school. And then I got into REC, and then once I in the final year, I started applying to the universities, and I got admission at Stony Brook. My brother was here in the United States in a couple of years before that, and so he encouraged me to apply to University of the United States, and then prior to coming to the United States, my final year, my mother was not very happy about me going to America because brother is over there, and all the sisters in India. And so she wanted me to stay back in India. And so I did apply for some jobs, and I got an interview from Lawson and Tubro. I attended the first interview in Chennai, and then I got the second interview in Bombay. And so I went for the second interview as well. And my mother was saying that if you get this job, you stay back, don't go to America. And I didn't get the job. So, and then I convinced my mom that, it's good for me to go back and I'll come back and all that. So she, let me go, and then I went, and then after I arrived at Stony Brook, I was admitted in the electrical sciences department. It was more like control systems, very theoretical, and the computer science department had just started at that time, and I decided to switch to computer science. So that's another major event, that changed my career path, because I never worked as an electronics engineer, since I graduated. And then I worked a couple of companies in New York area, and then my brother in California wanted me to move to California, and he said, "Hey, why don't you apply to companies here? And there's this company IBM, in San Jose, so." It's a very good company. And of course, I knew about IBM. And he said, "Why don't you apply there?" And so I just sent my resume there. I was not really even responding to any ad. Just to their software division. I sent my resume, and then I'd applied to other places and in the East Coast, and Um, then I got an offer from Bell Labs and IBM at the same time. Bell Labs was in the East Coast, New Jersey, and IBM in California. You know, the IBM offer was actually lower than Bell Labs, and but my brother has kind of said, you know, I had been to California and really liked, you know, California, the weather and everything, and then I chose IBM, and in spite of I couldn't sell my house back and all that, you know, I had to move, and IBM, you know, they provided, you know, all the moving expenses and everything, but they didn't, you know, take care of selling my house and things like that. So I said, okay, I'll just go. And so it almost took more than a year to sell the house. And but during the time we stayed in an apartment, and then finally after the house was sold, I was able to buy a house in San Jose. So that's, and I think it was it was a very significant move to moving to California and join IBM, because and also I decided to pursue a technical career as opposed to management career, even though I was asked to get into management several times. I decided I'll stay technical, and kind of provided, a life, and I was able to lead a life of, work with proper work-life balance, and I was able to pursue my other interests, and being in California, year-round outside activities and tennis and swimming and that kind of stuff. So, and also, marrying Usha was also within the family. It provided, it facilitated having my family here, because my mom lived with us, and then I was able to sponsor all my sisters, and they came to United States, with their dependents, and my brother-in-laws, they stayed in our house, and one went to high school, and one went to undergraduate, and then one went to master's and all. And then they moved on now. So that facilitated having an extended family in the United States. And so I only have distant relatives in India. And so these are the events, I think, that that shaped my life to where I am now. We are empty nesters, but I do have family a lot in the United States. And one sister decided to go back, and the son, nephew, who was working here, decided to go back. He actually married a Kerala girl, and then she came here, and she wanted to be with the parents and raise the family in India. So she was the only. He went back to India. He settled in Bangalore, and he's doing well. And he works for GE, and he comes on a business trip to the United States and so forth. So, and I still have one sister decided to go back to India as well, and other two sisters, they have permanent residence, and one has Indian citizenship, but she goes back and forth because to come and visit their children here and so forth. So. So that's my story. So any questions?
Great story, Gopal. Let me set the ball rolling with a question. Losing a father at that young age is a high impact kind of thing. Right. Did you start to believe, apart from the studies angle, did you start to believe you have an elder brother? But still, did you feel that you are responsible for the family or something like that? What made you, what was going on in your mind when you said, now I have to study seriously, now I have to do these things? What was going on in your mind?
Yeah, I think I felt responsible, and because after my father passed away, we didn't have any property or anything like that. So we moved into my grandfather's house, in Tilanagar. And so that's where I, and Kasi was in Tilanagar also. So I was in 11th Cross. Kittu, I hear you're from Tilanagar too.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, and so moved into my grandfather's house. I think my grandfather, my mom's dad, I think he in lots of ways influenced, my outlook in life. He was a lawyer and not very rich or anything. He was the guy, when clients come and and they give him some, money as a fee or whatever. And that day we'll have a feast, and he was very, and he was a Freemason actually, and he introduced my dad and other relatives to becoming a Freemason, and he was very a broad thinker, and I learned a lot about United States because he used to subscribe for Reader's Digest. So when I was in my grandfather's house, I used to read Reader's Digest, and I learned quite a bit about United States, and that also kindled my interest about going to United States, and I used to read about all that, the humor in uniform and all these jokes and short stories, and Reader's Digest, and he was kind of a very happy-go-lucky guy, and so I think in a way, and his outlook in life, and I think he was probably an agnostic, I think,
Gopal,
yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How was the transition to the US? I think you are the first guy who came from your family, right? How did you make the transition?
For transition to US?
The US, yeah, when you came here to study, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a little bit easier for me because even though I didn't get full scholarship, I just got tuition scholarship, right? And my brother was out here in California working for Caterpillar. He provided an affidavit of support.
Oh,
and
okay.
I wrote TOEFL and GRE and all that. My GRE score wasn't good enough to get scholarship, so but Stony Brook didn't care about that, and he gave me a tuition scholarship.
Okay.
And I had to take care of other expenses. Since my brother was here, I was able to come. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come to United States because financially I couldn't have afforded to come to United States on my own. So that, and then after I came to Stony Brook, I didn't want to be even though my brother took care of all my, the living expenses and everything, I didn't want to become a burden for him. And so my first job was a dishwasher at the college, the campus, that was my first job. And then I worked, during the breaks and all that. I went to New York City because one of my sister-in-law's brother, he was living in Brooklyn. He was a calligraphy artist. He's a deaf mute, but he was very talented. And so I stayed in his apartment, and then I had some summer jobs. Actually, one of the jobs was in some toy factory, assembling toys and things like that during the break. And then during the summer, I worked for United Parcel Service, kind of sorting, there's all these conveyor belts all over me, and the packages moving and sorting them to different conveyor belts and loading it into the truck and all that. That is one of the summer jobs I had. And then after first few semesters, I got a job at the University Computing Center, and then moved on. I got a job in Long Island. I got my first car and so forth.
Good.
So, it was a fairly easier transition for me, because of my brother's support and this tuition scholarship and so forth. And so that's what made it easier for me. Yeah.
This is what Gopal has to say about his transition, but I have to say something about his transformation. The Gopal I got to know was a fast bowler, all-rounder cricketer. That was my very first exposure to Gopal in the cricket field. He had just moved into Trichy, and the first time I saw him was at the St. Joseph's College High School Stadium. This young boy in white shirt and white shorts, rubbing the ball in his shirt, trousers.
You're probably wondering what's all that red stain on my white shorts, right?
Yep. so that was it. Gopal I was exposed to first, and then all of a sudden, When we came to REC, this guy had transformed completely from this happy-go-lucky sportsman to a studious guy. And I got to say this, I used to meet Gopal every single day during the first year. I would go to his room, then we'll go together to for dinner. But dinner opened only at 7 o'clock or something, 6:30 or 7, whatever it is. And Gopal wouldn't let me get him out of his room. Even 1 minute before 7 o'clock, he would be looking at his book and studying and studying. He would want me to study with him, but my mind was all over. So we drifted apart, and then I got corrupted by Prakash.
That's right.
His ways of the world attracted me more than the studious Gopal that I loved. I continue to love.
And I remember Murthy also. I think I got to know Murthy quite well during the first few years he was there. He used to hang around and we used to hang around together for a little bit, when I was not studying.
Which was very, very rare.
I used to sit in a corner there, and I would loaf around and come back, and he would have his book there, and I will be studying. I'll go sit there. I was always afraid to disturb him because my association, I thought, would pull him down. And then there is another transformation. Kashi, you don't know about Gopal. I met him after about 1980 something, maybe 82, 83, on a dance floor.
Oh boy.
Both Usha and he dance quite well. That started in 1980s, at least that's to my knowledge. So there is a transformation. There's something that you and I don't know yet, probably.
Ooh.
Hey, Gopal,
On a friend's house, we were, we're all kind of, this particular, in those days, this Pratap's house, nobody would get on the dance floor. They would all say, Murthy Garu, go dance. I said, you want to come dance? No, my husband won't allow me to dance. That's a kind of a thing. And here Gopal was going away. Wow, this is the studious guy. What happened to him? Anyway, whatever you did, Balu, you got a full house for the first time.
hey,
All
Gopal,
11 people.
Gopal, okay? Your life has got a lot of similarities with me. My father also died when I was 14, but I never changed. My education was same as before, always getting C's and D's. Sorry, C's.
Sampath, what can I say? Some of us take one direction, some of us don't.
And his life was very smooth. Mine was very adventurous, I should say.
Okay. Right.
Gopal, I like the way you convinced your mother. She was not keen that you should go to the US. But you said, I can't get a job in India, so I got to go to the US.
That's right. Yep. And then,
I couldn't get a flat in Bombay. That was the main reason. I said, heck with this place. And I left. And I was in Tata Consultancy, and everybody says it's a great company. I said, no, it's not a great company. I'm getting bored here.
But that's another story now. So I'm going to move on now. We are already at 9 o'clock. Time's now ripe and right for Ajmal to start.
Yeah, okay.
All
Can you
other
hear me?
hands mute.
Can you hear me?
Make it fast.
Sure. Kittu, can you hear me? No? Kittu, can you?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
I'll-
Ajmal, one question. Do you want it to be recorded or not to be recorded?
I don't mind. No problem.
Okay.
Mine is, there's no turning point in life like what Matthew had. It's a simple sort of turn of events which took place with prayer change but a change in the attitude or some what's happening. When I was a kid, when I started going to school, I went to school when I was 3 years old, like the kids of these days go. I was admitted to school on a Vijayadashami day, a special day, auspicious day, and three of us same age. We were taken to school. We wore new dress. We wore garland and all that. And then the occasion was celebrated with distribution of sweets and things like that.
Which
this
town
was
was this,
started.
Ajmal?
Which
Town.
this is my native place called Tirupatur near Karaikudi
Okay.
near Madurai.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was only one popular school at that time. It was called the Pullavar School, a Tamil medium school. So we were admitted there. After that, when I was 4, I was supposed to go to the what's called that lower KG. Those days it was called Ara class. Yeah. Then I started going to school few days. After that, I refused to go to school. This happened for when I was 4, when I was 5, when I was 6. I just wouldn't go to school. When I was supposed to go to school, I used to visit there, but that, I just couldn't understand what's happening there. Nothing could go into my head. I don't know whether it was autistic or what, I don't know. Till 7, I just wouldn't go to the school at all. When I was 7 or 8ish, my brother took me to another school and put me directly in 2nd standard. Somehow I started liking the school, and then started reading, understanding things, and then I came 2nd in the class. Next year, 3rd standard, I came 1st in the class. After that, I was going double promotion and went to 5th. So somehow I made up the loss of some years. After that, it went very well till the time I passed in my school, complete schooling, SSLC. In SSLC, I stood 1st in the school. Then I joined a college in the same place, a new college. I was down to the 1st batch, and I stood 1st in the college also for the PUC. Almost most of the subjects I topped, and then it went like that. I was very confident and very good at studies, and then there was no problem at all. I was very confident of getting an admission to the engineering college. When I went for the interview, in the application, I put my choices as first REC, then Madurai Tyagaraja College, and 3rd is Karaikudi College. So in the interview panel, perhaps the Karaikudi principal, he asked me, why Karaikudi is the nearest place for you? It's only 12 kilometers, why 12 miles per time? Why you are not choosing that? I said, I don't want to go to Karaikudi. My first choice is Trichy. We don't get it, then Madurai. So interview went like that. Then Professor Manisundaram, our principal, wrote there my application REC in the typical red pencil, which most of us got returned. So I was selected for REC. I was very confident, and then joined REC first year. Then wonderful roommates, Ravindran and Gopalakrishnan. Yes, Gopalakrishnan. Being the first, maybe after a few weeks or after a month, I got a call from the college saying that there's an annual day in the college, so you would come there to receive prizes. So I went there, got a lot of prizes, every subject I had topped, and then came back. And then my roommate Ravindran was very happy. He said, do you know that there's one more person also went into absence to receive the prizes in his college? I thought, who is that? I was very confident that, I was one of the top player amongst the people there in our college, batch. So he said, you guess, I couldn't guess. He said, Gurumurthy, in our same block. Awesome. So I said, oh, Gurumurthy is better than me. So he said, what prize he got? He asked me. I said, he got a lot of books. He said, Gurumurthy got a gold coin. So I said, okay. Gurumurthy got a gold coin. Then there was some sort of reality saying that, yes, you're not on the top, you're somewhere. There are people above you like Gurumurthy. Then Ravi asked me one day, what grades did you get in the PUC? I said, I got D plus, which I was very proud of. We were the top of my previous college. He said, oh, okay. Then asked him, what did you get? He told me, I got a D plus, D plus, D plus. So I said, oh, it was sort of Then Gopal said he got D plus D plus. So both my roommates were more than what I got in PUC, which I thought very high grade. So for me, the merit scholarship was a must. Without the scholarship, I was not to continue the education there. So I sort of became a reality that merit scholarship is not going to be so easy. Just roommates, two roommates of yours, both are much higher than you, higher than me. So that sort of brought in some sort of thinking, and then I became very studious. Like Gopal became studious because of some reason. This made me very studious, and then I started focusing on studies. Not studies means getting marks. So I just focused, and then no problem. The first quarterly exam, which Matthew got 4th rank, I got the 11th rank. So I was sure of scholarship. I was very happy. But you all know what happened. That thing was sort of, that exam was disqualified, and even Matthew was not very happy about that. Yeah. Then next half-yearly exam. So I didn't give up. I got again the same 11th rank, and then again I got a scholarship. It went well. After that, there was no problem. So I finished engineering and then got a job in Bombay. I worked something in a college, Allahabad College, as a lecturer for 3 months. Then I took a job in Bombay. There, the job was a government job, central government job. The designation was assistant foreman. So it was not an engineer job, it's a foreman job, that to assistant foreman job. But I was very happy because for assistant foreman, if you're not an engineer, for engineering graduates, they were giving 3 increments. So out of all the people who were there in Bombay at that time, like Anjali used to take me around to meet our friends, I was drawing the highest salary. So I was very happy. Then I was very happy. I was not thinking of changing a job at all. I was happy as a assistant foreman, and then I got married. Noor came and joined me in Bombay. We lived there in a flat, in a house. So Noor said that you are an engineer. Why don't you work as an engineer? Why are you assistant foreman? There are a lot of people, other engineers are needed in Dubai. It seems. Won't take up a job in Dubai. I said no, I'm happy here. And I continued. But what happened was, I was in the inspectorate department, so I used to go for inspection. In one factory, there was one quality control engineer. He said, "You are an engineer. It's very, it looks very shameful that you are working as an assistant foreman and you are saying you are assistant foreman." So sort of this made me think. Then I applied for the Air Force. I mean, that's when somebody sent a application for the advertisement for the Air Force engineers. I applied. There was 5 days interview. I never thought I would be selected for the Air Force because I was not a sportsman. I had no interest in military. But then after 5 days interview, I was selected. There were about 25 people. I was the only person who was selected in the batch. So I joined Air Force. Then Air Force gave me a sort of different life, which I enjoyed, of course. And then continued in Air Force. I had to leave Air Force mainly because I was marrying a daughter who was already 23, 24, and moving around all around the northern part of India. We couldn't get a proper match for her. So I resigned from the Air Force, took permission. Generally, it's sort of jugaad. You are very good in jugaad. So that's what is smartness. So generally, the people in the military or army or Air Force, they all be smart and they're the best jugaaders. Okay. Then when I joined this IT company, it was good job, good salary. One day, the CEO was addressing everybody. Of course, managers are just present, mainly addressing the software engineers. there you are saying that we should all be working smart. He said smart means, or rather smart does not mean that jumping the queue and getting your tickets and things like that. Smart means you should be smart to your customer. You should be able to educate your customer. That's what is smart. So that means that the customer should be able to gain something from you because of a smartness. That sort of thing. So my idea of smartness changed there. Then of course I was I was loving a job there. I could groom a lot of managers, and then it was very good going there. But then, of course, after when I crossed 60, 61, 62, I thought I would take a break, and then I left the job. I moved to Cochin also, and then lived in Cochin for some time. I was almost 10 years in Cochin. Then I wanted to come down to Chennai. In between, we had, of course, dilemma, settle in Coimbatore or Bangalore or Cochin itself. But then finally we decided that we should go to Chennai. And that is in Chennai. So these are small instances that in my life, which perhaps changed some attitude, behavior, things, right? But not a great turning point. Yeah, that's the story.
Good job, Ajmal. I think I got the moral of the story. The moral of the story, which I'm going to tell my son, that your sons should not study from 12 to 5. Third class to 5th, right? Then you will be successful.
Balu, I'm so tired because I feel I'm doing exercise for last hour and 20 minutes.
See, you are all tired.
Yeah, I'm ready to go sleep.
Last meeting. He's expressing the last meeting till this meeting.
I thank you all. I think everything should continue.
Can I have a minute? I was just remembering when Ajmal said I got the 4th rank and he got the 11th rank, and the first year results were supposed to decide the scholarships, and then this movement started. No, we didn't have enough time, etc., etc. And Shankar got a rank above me, if I remember right. He was 1st or 2nd or something. And so I went to Shankar and we said, well, we should perhaps tell our side of the story. And so Shankar and I decided to go to Princey. And my God, the diplomacy that I saw at that time. Shankar walks into Princey's room with me. And then Princey says, yes, what is it? And Shankar says, well, there's a small divergence of opinion on whether the first term results should be used or the second term results should be used. Because it went to the second term, and I that's the first real place where I was denied something that I had earned, and it completely changed my life. My second term rank was 72, and my mother was shocked.
Sampath and I also were competing for the last rank and the last but one rank.
Join the crowd.
Guys, I have to leave for the simple reason that I haven't had anything to eat since 12 o'clock this afternoon. And so Maya's just come and called me, and she said, if you don't come in now, she's going to go and sleep. And then I will have to wait till tomorrow morning. So I may be permitted to leave since I think everyone has spoken, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we only will finish this interaction, and Kittu will talk a few words about the February meet, and we'll close.
Okay, I'm getting some information on that from Rajamani. So Kittu, you will have to excuse me.
Yeah. Go ahead. I think it's whoever is in the group I'm not going to add anything more than what Rajamani has been talking about in the group. So you can go ahead. Nothing. You can
Okay,
always
okay.
ask me if you have any doubts. You can always ask.
Yeah, we can always do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, just permit me to leave.
Prakash.
Thank you so much. It was
Good night,
nice listening
Prakash.
to the
Good night.
three guys. Good night.
We'll miss you, Prakash.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
night.
We'll miss you, Prakash.
Okay, Kashi.
I have a question. Did you, your change from being an assistant foreman to the rest of the life and other jobs and all that? Did you find a change in your personality because of any of those moves?
Getting into
You
Air
want-
Force, personality in me, the training and
How did it change?
different change in me than what you saw in the college times. No.
You see, I have always seen you as a, what should I say, gentleman all the time. Okay, and a gentleman in a very nice manner, soft spoken, very courteous. And whatnot.
Joining Air Force, I became an officer and a gentleman.
Officer and a gentleman.
That's a good one. That's a good one as well.
That's
You've
a good
always
one.
kept your wit.
Yeah. But when did you start getting your one-liner?
Yeah, perhaps I think Mohan was the inspiration.
Okay. Your one-liners or something.
Ajmal, can I ask a very personal question?
Yeah.
In all this journey, when you were, you narrated you're going to school, Tirupur, right up to Tirupattur, all the way up to REC. I know everything that happened at REC with you, but until then, did you feel any kind of isolation or any kind of being in the minority? Was that something that affected you? When you said you didn't want to go to school in the first 1 to 3 years, did that play a role?
No, the first 3 years, which when I didn't go to school was, I don't know what happened. It was not isolation. I still remember my peers, the friends who were with me, they could study like Kaka and all that. I can't go. I could not go beyond I. After that I couldn't stay. I still remember that. I can't go beyond that. That was my capacity. But then when I went to second standard, maybe this change. Maybe I don't know whether it is what was. I was not autistic. I was a very brisk and active child right from the beginning. Rather naughty child. But then that changed of some time. But I don't know what happened. How when it changed. After that, I never felt any isolation. I never used to feel isolated. I always I'm very social, and then I never felt that I'm away from the crowd anytime. Never. I always enjoy the people around me during the college time, and then of course Balu knows I was very closely. I was very close to Balu that time. He had a small gang which I was part of, and then of course in the airport. Of course,
I don't think you were describing autism as much as dyslexic. I think you were more dyslexic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The spectrum. Yeah.
And you were probably ambidextrous. You were probably ambidextrous. Both your hands were equally strong to do things. Or you were left-handed and they tried to make you right-handed.
I don't know that.
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I am right-handed, as far as I know. I
Okay.
left-handed.
As far as you know, yeah.
Yeah. And the studies part, I just refused to go to school. Yeah.
There are, even not having this big name, some people may be slow at the start in the younger age of growing and then pick up not just equal, maybe even better.
Einstein's maths teacher told him he would never amount to anything.
See? So I mean, I don't think nature can be all that easily understood as to what happens in the growth of a child. Great. So we have kept time and we have had some interesting conversations. So Kittu, the floor is yours now for the next few minutes.
And Balu, I need a minute after Kittu.
Sure.
We didn't hear Shankar say anything at all today.
Well, I had a question from Matthew, but it's probably going to be a long answer, so I don't want to take. Share.
Are you saying something here, Shankar?
Shankar, you are a little different. You ask a question which may have a long answer. You will never work in Indian TV channel. The questions are long. The answers cannot be.
Answers don't matter.
And
If you
sometimes
try
we
to
ask,
answer, they'll cut you and then ask another question.
no, sometimes they answer themselves.
That's
They
true.
also ask a long
Good
question
question.
and answer it themselves without allowing them. Okay, I think the Golden Jubilee, much awaited, twice postponed, is on from 12th to the 14th at REC. I think we reached there on the 12th by lunchtime. We have evening cocktails and dinner with troupe playing, music on that day. Second day, we all take a couple of buses and go to the institute. I think the institute, they will address us, and whatever you want to see there, I think the institute is massive now. There's a huge campus, and there is a separate women wing, there is separate men wing, all the thing, unbelievable, I was told, even though we went there once in between. So we spent the whole day there and come back in the evening. We have our own time in the evening. Next day, I think third day, we just meet and then have breakfast, and after lunch, we will all push off. So this is the program. There's a good hotel now called SRM. So fairly decent standard maintained, and for a Trichy standard is definitely a good hotel. And we have so far about 40. Out of that, I think there are about 26 or 27 couple, 13 or 14 is the single. So this is the thing. We have booked about 40 rooms, 40 double room, hoping that a few more will join. And we are also trying to locate a few of our lecturers and professors, our time. If whoever is alive, we are trying to locate those people and see at least we could bring a couple of them there and give them a good memento and honor them. This is one of the things which we have. And second is we have collected about 5 or 6 lakhs by way of donation. Last year we spent some money and we donated some money, balance money, perhaps we'll plan it and see how to think. Basically, we were supporting a school, a government school inside the campus. So we will see how to go about it. There is a lot of problem with that school now. So the previous batch and some more people are trying to solve this and see how to. So these are general activity. And there is one request from people who say that whoever is not able to join, whether they would like to have an online connectivity so that they can become part of it virtually. So I said that yes, we can definitely do it depending on the number of people who would be interested. If there are only a couple of people who would be interested, we may not be able to. And not only that, which part of the program you would like to be part of it, either the evening cocktails and dinner or the college program, which is a formal program. So we will try to collect the information and see what we can do as far as the online screening is concerned. So any questions you have, any suggestions you have, please shoot.
I have a request, Kitu, I won't be attending, but if you're printing some T-shirts or some kind of mementos commemorating this date and
Yeah.
other dates, is that
Yeah.
something that we can purchase? Can you make additional
Sure,
quantities
not a
available for
problem.
people like me to
We can
buy?
do that. Absolutely, yeah. In fact, that's a good suggestion. We will let you know. In fact, we'll try to find out how many are interested. We'll order a few more, that's all, and ensure that it reaches you.
Thank you. And now,
Yeah.
obviously, you should charge us for purchasing these.
Yes, 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 definitely. We will do that.
So Matthew
Kitu.
and Balu,
It's me, if you hadn't said that.
Gopal, go ahead.
yeah, Matthew and Balu, I didn't see your names on the list. Or you, have you made a decision?
I'm in Madras.
Pardon me, Matthew.
Answer first.
I'm in Madras.
I can't hear you.
He is in Vanvas.
Oh,
Vanavas.
Oh, okay.
Banavas.
Oh, Vanavasam. I see. I understand. Okay.
In other words, he's an animal in a forest. His house is a forest.
Absolutely.
How about you,
Well,
Balu?
I had, at the time when the announcement was made, I was not sure about my availability in February. So I had said that I will let people know closer to the date. And this was a couple of months back when the whole thing was started. In fact, when the previous dates were announced, at that time, I was part of the committee which was arranging things. So I said, when I am not sure about my participation, I shouldn't be in the committee. And so I stepped out of the committee. It's now closer to the, much closer to the date. So I will be able to take a call probably within the next 10 days.
Okay, great. All right, sounds good.
Some of the things, like my mother staying here, my mother's 95. But we have found a way. Very recently, I had to go to Dubai for 4 days with Uma for attending some function. So my son and daughter-in-law were able to take care of my mother.
Right, okay.
Uma was very skeptical, but they did a good job. So it's given us a little more, what should I say?
Confidence.
Age to go out. Although my mother doesn't like it, let me tell you very honestly.
Ask Gopal how to get out of it.
If we go
Balu,
out
that's
in a
it.
couple of hours, she's not very happy. Let me tell you, I mean, these are things that you have to manage in life, but so be it. We'll figure a way out for that. But there were a couple of other things which will all be known very soon. In the next 10 days, our programs will be known very clearly. Then we'll take a call.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. All right.
Balu,
Yeah.
Balu, there is a, you should, did you tell your son that that's a training for them?
Well, no, really
When you
speaking,
grow
I
old.
no, I don't want it. I don't want it to be a training because we have decided what we are going to do when we are old. So, it's not a training.
So, but I think, I was going to be there till the end of January, spending after 3 weeks of travel, city to city, almost impossible to hang around 12 days. It's going to be.
Murthy, you're very welcome to stay with me.
No.
In
Murthy,
Vanvas,
you-
will you treat me like an animal too? Then I will. Can we have animal life together?
No choice. You will only be an animal in my forest.
Only problem is this, Matthew, to be frank. I can handle you, I can handle Chitra.
Yeah.
Together with your spirituality stuff, I don't think I can handle you guys. Unless Sampath comes along. Well, no, I don't know. I take it back. He'll probably get on a treadmill.
Don't
Anyway.
get me into all this.
Chetan
Hey.
wanted a minute, no?
No.
Hey, Kitu, I had a question for you.
Chetan, hang on for a minute. Let me finish with Murthy first.
Oh,
15 days in India extra is the real issue. You
What
have
is it?
Matthew, you have us. We will take care of you. You should not stay in a hotel. You can stay with one or more of us, and we will have a lot of good time together. As
Hey,
long as you
Murthy.
can afford not to be in US for those 15 days,
So
please do
now,
not consider this as a
wait. What we can do is this, okay? This is like a preparation for our 12th, 13th, 14th. If I can convince Sampath, Shankar, and Kashi, and Gopal is already going to be there. So I think then it's worth it.
Hey, Murthy, you have a DLF flat. Why do you need to go to any place?
What?
DLF
You have
flat.
That's a private joke, guys, by the way. Kashi, Kittu knows it.
Kittu and Balu, after the reunion, I've been speaking to Rajagopal. So I'm planning to come to Bangalore, and I'm planning to stay with him, and then we're going to be planning some sightseeing, Mysore. And I told him I'm interested in visiting places that have historical and architectural, significance. So he's talking to his son and arranging some travel plans. My plan is to arrive in India on February 8th, and I'm going to be flying back first I'm going to go to Chennai, and then I'll be flying back from Bangalore on the 22nd, I think.
So how are you guys going from Chennai? I remember the best when we went sometime, I think, where is it Cochin, I think? We took a train, and that night journey was really good in the train.
I think Rajagopal was suggesting
the guys from Chennai, most of them will take a morning train.
Right. That's what he was suggesting. Early morning train. Yeah. So I plan to join that group. I plan
Just
to join
5 hours,
that group.
5 hours or something. Yeah, Chetan.
yeah, okay. The question Kittu I had was, okay, I was trying to talk to my wife. I'm planning to come. I was talking to my wife. She was like, what am I going to do? So, what are the activities for spouses if they come? So that is the question I have, because, either she may join or not, depending on, what we are all planning to do. If it is all going to be, men's stuff, then she has no interest in being there. So that's what I wanted to find out from you.
Chetan, if I could jump in here. Generally, this is a family affair. The spouses, they get along quite nicely with each other. I'm sure Lakshmi will have a good time. And I'm sure she would also enjoy seeing REC. As Kittu was saying earlier, REC
I don't think that's okay. I mean, I don't know whether she will care about coming to the campus, But anyway,
that I think is a must.
Let me put it this way. Let's say there are a few who are not interested in coming to the campus, we can organize a tour for them to go to, Srirangam,
Malakote,
Rockford. This is not a problem at all.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it is flexible.
Yeah, like if because if you come to the campus and people are talking, there are faculty talking, it may not be very interesting to them. That's what.
No. That talking may not be for more than half an hour or 1 hour maximum. That formal program may not be for more than an hour. No one can stand it. It's going to be more going around, seeing, and go to the thing, have a lunch there. I agree with you. I think the wives may not enjoy it so much as because
and the guys are all 72, 73. It's a huge campus.
Yeah.
Have a few walking sticks.
No, you're not going to walk. You're going to take the bus.
For me, to go to the faculty, I will get very scared.
Yeah.
To the university there, I was always afraid of going to the college.
Hey, in a serious note, is there a way, somehow, if it's not there already, a probably 1 hour or 30 minutes video of the campus today. Is there a, saying that, the original 3 hostels and the 2 or 3 buildings that we had when we went to college versus what it is now? Is there a video like that?
Then and now.
Yeah, but at least we can say these are the only 3 buildings. And at least is there a video like that? Because it will be useful for many
There
many
should be.
batches.
There
Yeah,
should be. I can ask them. I can ask them and see whether we can get one. That's not a problem.
yeah, very good. Thank you.
By the way, whoever is not able to come, would you be interested in joining us virtually?
For a
Yes,
short while, yes.
Huh?
yes.
For a short while, yes.
Probably at least that 1 hour formal program, which will be easy to organize also.
Right. And I think one guy who would give you good feedback on that is Govind Kamath. Yeah, Govind Kamath, I don't think he attended any of them, but he was there, somehow online or something or other every time. So, but
Okay.
I think he can tell you what worked and what didn't work.
Ajmal is there, Gopal is there. They're all going to be there, so help us.
Good.
Yeah, we can do that. Good. Yeah.
So, Shankar, are you up to going there for a few days?
Yeah.
Actually, I have to see my sister in Mumbai, and we're trying to determine when to go there, and that might conflict with the meet. But Kittu, I would be very interested in, if I don't make it, certainly joining by online or Zoom, or if you guys can do that. But if the trip works out that it's around a couple of weeks with my sister, then I would make it a point to come down there.
Shankar, you have an open invitation to Cochin, you know that.
Yes, I would absolutely see you, Matthew.
Hey, how far is Calicut from where you are, Matthew?
5.5 hours.
Hour and a half by car?
5.5 hours by car or by train even.
5.5 hours, not 1.5 hours.
1.5.
Well, if you drive fast, I mean, if you drive like I do, yes, you can do it in 4.5.
Or if you drive fast, it may be 12 hours.
Huh?
Drive very fast, it may be more than 12 hours.
Yeah, that's
The hospital in between.
true. You might meet in the next life.
Guys, I gotta go. Take care, guys. Night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, hey,
You can
hey
send
guys,
me the
I
question
have a
Thank
question.
you.
You
I
can
have
send
a
me
question for you guys.
personally, Shankar.
So when
You
is the
have-
next meeting?
1 minute, Chetan.
What's that, Matthew?
No,
Go,
okay.
You had a question, so you can send that to me privately, and I will.
I will send that privately.
Okay.
Hey, I have a general question for all of you. You might have seen that I took over making the 7-year from Lotlat Sridhar. And one of the first questions I have is, we are both South Indian and North Indian guys. And North Indians have a last name. So, and so some of the people, when you put it in, how do you alphabetize it? Is it by first name or last name? That, I'm used to last name in this country, but I'm kind of a little confused as to how one should proceed on that. Like, for example, should Ajmal Khan be Khan under Khan, or should he be under
First
Ajmal?
name, probably first name makes sense, I think, for all of us.
First name. So it's always the first name.
Yeah.
Most of the cases in India.
Provide an index by the last name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Chetan, I want to volunteer and say
That is a good suggestion, guys. I did not want to ask the whole group. I just wanted to ask the small group. So if you guys think first name is good, then I will just, go with that.
Chetan, just one thing. I saw the note from Sridhar to everyone and all this. What are you planning to? Are you planning to print it?
I don't know. I'm all in charge of. All I agreed with him is I will make an electronic version of it and have it. And then whether you guys want to print it or not is left to you guys.
In fact, my suggestion was let us leave it in the soft copy and give it to everyone.
Sure,
Printing
can be an electronic.
affair, and people are not going to use it completely.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it is worth spending money on printing.
I have no problem.
People from not using paper concept, it's better to stick with soft copy.
What I
Yeah.
suggested to the group, anyway, because of now that Chetan is here, I wanted to ask him.
No. All I agreed was to make the electronic copy. Printing, I was going to leave it to you guys to do whatever you want to print. Anyway, I'm
Chetan,
sitting in the US, so I can't print it and
Chetan.
give it to you guys to distribute in India.
hi Chetan.
I agreed to do was the electronic version.
Okay, fine.
Chetan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I am willing to volunteer my services to you as your assistant.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
he
you,
did
Kasi.
it last time. He did a wonderful job last time. I remember that.
That is good, Kasi.
Thank
Then that is very helpful. Then, like this question I had, like a first name, last name, I will bounce it off you and let us work it together. I like
Sure,
that.
I'll be happy to be your assistant. In fact, I helped recollect a lot of these bios.
Cool, man.
I'll be happy to work with you and be your assistant.
No, not assistant, co-worker.
No, only as an
Not
assistant.
At this stage, everybody is a co-worker in everything.
Chetan, you don't understand. He doesn't want to take responsibility.
That's fine.
That's why he wants to be assistant.
Sampath knows me too well.
Which
Hey,
one is
Sampath,
that? Is that a
if it is
Duracell?
real Indian version, the assistant does all the work, the boss gets all the credit. You know that.
Yeah. So hey, Sampath, I think which battery is that? Duracell, or is it that kind of a keeps on
Energizer.
working? We'll change it to Sampath battery. Look at this guy. You are making me really dizzy, man.
621 active calories.
What he has is a rolling tape.
Okay, Balu, when is the next meeting?
That's
Balu,
That's a
announce the
good
next meeting date.
I will announce the next meeting date, and the topics continue to remain the same. We can add more. You can choose the same
All right.
topic for new topics which will be added.
Okay.
And it will be a Wednesday, Gopal.
all right.
Thank you.
Right, great. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.